Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in, welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI, and I lead School's Eye on the Valley, and I am your host, Matt Watson. Our show, as you know, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by SCVI and I Lead Schools, a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've also got a fully accredited online school, a burgeoning homeschool program in iLead Exploration. Visit us at ileadschools.org and take a look at every one of our educational models, from classroom-based to online to homeschool. So, yeah, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but like our show says, we keep that other eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we do it all while having a lot of fun, you know. Like I've said before, I've got that rider in my contract that says I'm not having to do anything at all unless I can laugh while I'm doing it. Gets me into a little bit of trouble sometimes at board meetings, but, you know. Life ain't worth living unless you can get in trouble once in a while, you know? So good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I am back. I was out last week. I was working with I was working with a consultant doing some teacher training up at iLead Lancaster, and producer Sarah McDaniels and Renee Marshall were gracious enough to stand in for me and did a great job holding up the show. You know, I did listen to the replay, and did you know that you can listen to the replay of our show anytime? You know, you can look us up on the KHTS website. It's easy. You just go to hometownstation.com, click on Air Features, Podcasts, and then you find our show amongst the many great shows here at KHTS. You find our show Eye on the Valley, and you can replay any of our past shows on KHTS. But so yeah, anyways, I listened to the podcast, and Sarah and Renee were great. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Big T threw a little shade at me when in my absence, you know, like a big brother does. So, you know, we'll talk to him about that when he comes on a little bit later on in the show and get things straightened out. But, you know, I was kind of surprised. I was driving up to Lancaster, and I was listening to the very beginning of the show, the first few minutes, and it's funny, I was expecting the signal to fade as I got up over the hill and dropped down into the Antelope Valley, but nope, that FM signal, KHTS's FM signal, 98.1, stayed strong through the Antelope Valley, and in fact, it was funny. I listened to the first few minutes of the show, and then I got to our school in Lancaster, started setting up, and about a half an hour later, our consultant rolled in, and she says to me, she says, Matt, I got in my rental car today to drive over here, and I did what I always do when I'm traveling. I turned in a local radio station, and Sarah and Angie were on the radio. It was the darndest thing. What's going on? So I just thought that was funny. She happened to tune our show in my absence last week. So yeah, thank you to Sarah, to Renee, Angie, and yeah, even Big T. It was a great show last week. We've got a great show for you today, too. Today we've got another just phenomenal show. We've got a return guest in Josh Wentz from Mission Opera. He's going to be joining us. In fact, he's here in studio, and we'll talk to Josh here in just a minute. And next hour, we've got Ingrid Moon and Kevin Becker coming in to talk CTE classes at SCVI. They're preparing their high schoolers for some pretty amazing careers. And as we do, we'll end the show with Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Tony will sure have some fun things to share with us, along with some great trivia questions, and you can play along with us too. So yeah, it's going to be a good show, going to be a fun show. So here we go. Grab yourself a spot of tea, and let's spend our Friday morning together, this cool, crisp Friday morning, while we keep our eye on the Valley. As I said, my first guest today, Dr. Joshua Wentz, is the artistic director of Mission Opera, producer, manager, and Landmark Opera, and a wildly popular associate professor, I understand, of music at LA Mission College. He was born and raised on the banks of the Ohio River in Belpre, Ohio. But man, he has gotten around since then, and as they call him, Dr. J, has lived in over half a dozen different states, and has performed in 9 different countries and all across the U.S. He teaches theory, music, history, voice, piano, and choir, and also owns the Columbia Music Academy right here in Santa Clarita. Josh, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. Good to be here, Matt. How you been?
Been doing well. Doing well. I love this time of year, right, where we get the cool mornings and evenings, but it warms up in the afternoon.
Finally. I thought in Santa Clarita, it's one of the only places where you go from 110 to 50 and you skip all the 70s and 80s. But then they came back. I'm glad we got a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm listening to that bio and I'm cracking up. I'm going, my favorite part is grew up on the banks of the river. And I grew up on a horse farm in southeastern Ohio. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I do uncouth things, my friends and family will say, "Did you grow up in a barn?" Kind of.
Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, very cool. So, Josh, we talked about how you've lived and performed. You've taught all over the world. You move around quite a bit, and you performed in a lot of different places. So, how did you come to settle here in Santa Clarita and become such an involved community member?
Oh, man, I love Santa Clarita. I've been here about 6 years. When I got the job at LA Mission College as my full-time gig, I pretty much dropped everything, and my partner and I were living in Wyoming, of all places, mm-hmm. and that was tough on a lot of different levels.
Okay.
And he grew up in LA and North Hollywood and kind of wanted to get back. And so when this opportunity presented itself, it was a no-brainer.
Okay.
So we moved to Santa Clarita right away and became involved right then. But I really love the art scene up here, mm-hmm. and I think it's great that the schools have a pretty thriving arts program.
Yep.
And the one thing that I noticed where there was an opportunity for growth and why I wanted to get my hands so muddy involved mm-hmm. right away is because while we value a lot of arts and music and education for our children, when they graduate from high school, we don't do a great job of providing opportunities for them to continue playing an instrument, to continue singing, to continue doing theater and groups. We have some really great theaters, obviously right down the street, Canyon Theater Guild and, mm-hmm. and other things like that. But then I noticed a lack of music. I said, well, is there any kind of big choirs? Well, we got a master chorale. We had a symphony for a while. Uh-huh. And I thought, okay, we need an opera company. We need this and that. Uh-huh. So I launched Mission Opera in about 2018. And our first show was in 2019. And we had a really great season. The pandemic hit and knocked us off, and that was all good and fine. We survived. Mm-hmm. One thing that didn't is one of our community orchestras, our one community orchestra didn't survive. Right. So when we came out on the other side of it, we said, well, all these people want to play, and that uh-huh. fit my mission of, you have opportunities in high school, but then adult players don't have the opportunities. So this year we launched Mission Orchestra. So we have a full community orchestra of players of all levels, even some high school kids in there, but mm-hmm. from pretty much late beginner, intermediate to advanced and professional players. And we rehearse every Tuesday night at Rio Norte Junior High School. So if you're a closet hornist, Matt, if you have your horn, you need to blow the dust off of it, come on and play. We're always looking for new players. We particularly need low strings and violas, horns and trombones. So if you know somebody that plays one of those instruments and wants a Tuesday night gig, we're having a big show on our first inaugural performance will be on December 4th at Santa Clarita United Methodist Church, and it's Music of the Stage and Film.
Wow, so you've got a lot going on with the opera and the orchestra, and your day job, and
yes.
and keeping busy in the community. Gosh, so talk to me a little bit about your journey as a musician and an educator. Did you always want to be both? Was that kind of what you had in mind, or had you planned a different career?
I was a professional opera singer for years. Mm-hmm. For about 8 years, I was trying to do that thing and hit the gold mine and strike it big. And right. I had a pretty fruitful career, but it's a difficult career. I understand why parents sometimes are like, tell their kids, don't go into the, go be. And my parents were the same. They wanted me to be a doctor or lawyer. They're like, mm-hmm. go do something that's stable and makes money. But I'd always taught part-time, and I loved the fact that I could go and perform. I could go to, Italy or Mexico for, 6 weeks, and I could come back and pick up lessons where I left them off. It's like, and you could actually give students, repertoire to learn and things to do and check in with them. Although now it's even easier with the Zoom and things like that. So,
Right.
so then at one point I realized, I don't think I'm ever going to sing at the Metropolitan Opera.
Okay.
And I thought, the competition got higher and higher and more difficult. And I finally, one day I said, I would like to get popped back in the oven to bake a little bit longer. So that's when I went back to finish my graduate degree in music. And I went straight on and did my doctorate in music at University of South Carolina. And from then on, it was just flipped. I was teaching full-time and performing part-time instead of trying to do it backwards.
Okay.
And so there was a little bit of stability in life and income, as you can expect.
Sure, yeah, right? Climbing, yeah.
And now I feel like I've made it to the point in my career where it's like, everything, knock on wood, when you say that, then something, the dominoes start falling, right? But, I look back 10 years ago and I said, I want to be a professor. I just started teaching at Cal State Northridge this semester as their baritone voice faculty, in addition to my full-time job at Mission College. So I am busier than I've ever been in my life. But you know what? It's all the things on my bucket list that I've wanted to do and the things that give me joy. And
I love it. Yeah, you've got the stability of the teaching career, but then you're also out in the field and doing it. Kind of an Indiana Jones of the arts, right?
There you go. Exactly.
You're doing it. You're teaching it, and fantastic. I love it. So, so you're getting into your teaching career, and you decided a few years back that we needed an opera in the North San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita Valley. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What opened your eyes and decided or made you decide that hey, we've got to open an opera here locally?
Yeah, you know what? I started with all my background in opera. I found myself getting really involved in L.A. opera world, and I was doing some work downtown and doing some work with other little opera companies in town. And one day, one of my good friends, Sean Taylor, comes to me. He said, why are you doing this work for everybody else? Why don't you have your own opera company? And I thought, well, I kind of want to see if I'm good at it first. You always want to try something on someone else's dime before you put all your pennies in the piggy bank.
Right.
And I turned out I was pretty good at directing and conducting and doing, and doing the entrepreneur type stuff. And so, when I looked up here, our first mission was to reach out to Santa Clarita Valley and San Fernando Valley. And we still do that, but Santa Clarita has just sort of become more of our home. We still do outreach concerts and all kinds of stuff in the San Fernando Valley, but this is certainly our home and our target area and where we're doing most of our performances and stuff like that. So we are really excited to announce probably the biggest thing that's coming up in terms of music education and what Mission Opera is doing is that we've got a partnership with LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger.
Yeah, I heard about
fifth,
that.
Supervisor, 5th District, I guess, which is a huge district. If you've ever looked at that map, I'm like, how does this woman survive?
but she does. She does a great job for our district
amazing.
and makes sure that that things are running well and her constituents are getting what they need, including some arts. So I do want to talk about that a little bit later on. I wanted to ask about what seems to be an obvious connection. Your full-time staff at Mission College. You've got Mission Opera. Is there a connection between the two? Is that
there is? Yeah. Initially, when I got hired at Mission College, I had all these hopes and aspirations of creating a big music program there and having an opera program, and that's part of LA Community College District, which is the largest community college district in the world. It's crazy. It's this big machine,
right?
And they have 9 colleges, and none of them anymore have an opera program. Valley College used to years ago.
Okay.
And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great to build something where there's clearly a need, there's clearly an absence of it. There's still singers going, pouring into the universities wanting to do classical music and and making careers in this. And I said, and we don't have it at the community college. We do. We have one at Santa Monica and different outside of our district. So my thought was to create a sustainable music program there. But as things happened, it just was not feasible and wasn't taken off. And I'm not a very patient person. When someone says, we're experiencing a budget deficit. You have to wait for 4 years. I'm like, no, I got one life to live, baby. I am not wasting 4 years. So I jumped in and I initiated my own nonprofit, 501c3.
Okay.
We were going to be called Valley Opera at first since we were serving the valleys, right? Or
Right.
Valleys Opera or something like that. And, once you do that business name search with the Secretary of State and they say, no, they got this, we got this, we got this. So we did a little bit of a research study and tried to test some different names with some of our interested parties and see what stuck. And Mission Opera just seemed to be, because not only is it, it sort of stemmed from Mission College, which stemmed from San Fernando Mission, right?
Right.
But then after a while, I started talking to people and they go, is it a religious thing? And I go, what do you mean? Is it a religious thing? I never thought of that.
Right. You guys are on a mission out there to spread the good news of opera.
Exactly. So it's more like Mission Impossible, if anything.
Oh, I see.
Mission Impossible, Mission Opera. Da, 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 da.
I like it. So you guys are bringing quality opera to San Fernando, Santa Clarita Valleys, but you touched on it a little bit. You're also providing educational opportunities for youth. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's one of our biggest missions, so to speak. We really want to, as an educator, I'm a performer, I'm an educator, I'm a community activist, and I'd like to think of myself as a community leader in many ways. And I think it's really important that we get all levels of the community involved in these productions. And when you look at professional opera, you go down to LA Opera, and you don't see a lot of young people there, And,
Right.
and they're struggling to fill seats because and it's not their fault, but opera overall has a bad stigma. People hear the word opera and they think the fat lady in the Viking helmet.
Right, exactly. The one we saw in Bugs Bunny, right?
Yes, exactly. So, and then people just are automatically turned off and say, no, I don't like that. And they don't know much about it. And so part of my personal mission is to get opera exposure to more people so that they know that it's not just that one tiny little thing.
Right.
And you don't know how many times, Matt, I've had people come to see a show and they go, wow, this is not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, there's opera in English? I thought it was always in Italian.
Right.
And we do a good job of trying to do, English and American opera a lot, as well as some of the great classics. But, the education component is so important because if students don't learn about something at a young age and they don't get a chance to go to the theater, go to the opera, go to the symphony by 5th grade, the chances are minimal that they'll ever end up being theater patrons or theater goers as an adult.
Interesting.
So the earlier you can capture their interest and attention in this stuff. So we created, should I talk about the program that we're going to do?
Well, you know what? Let's talk about that when we come back from commercial. We do have to break really quick. We're talking with Dr. Josh Wentz from Mission Opera, and as you're hearing, he's got his fingers in all kinds of artistic and educational endeavors here across the two valleys. When we get back, he's going to share this thing that he's partnering with Catherine Barger and doing, and some of the exciting shows coming up at Mission Opera. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
It's no wonder people love Baskin-Robbins. 31 delicious flavors of ice cream. Celebrate with your favorite ice cream served any way you want, including the special flavor of the month. Baskin-Robbins, now open on Lyons Avenue in Newhall under new Santa Clarita family ownership, is the first Southern California hybrid design store for Baskin-Robbins and the oldest location in Santa Clarita, over 45 years. America's favorite neighborhood ice cream shop is just one scoop away. Baskin-Robbins, the perfect dessert for your next celebration.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
A Royal Suite Home Furnishings has been family-owned and operated in Santa Clarita since 1978. They keep America working by stocking heritage-quality furniture made right here in the USA. With high-end design and thousands of fabrics to choose from, a Royal Suite offers a wide selection of furniture at incredibly low prices. Pay 0% interest with your approved credit for 12, 24, 36, or 48 months. See store for details. Visit A Royal Suite, massive showroom on Carl Boyer Drive near Sam's Club in Santa Clarita.
A Royal Suite. Sweet dreams.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
Mark Schneider and daughter Kaylee for Pacific Air.
Okay, team. I called this meeting to look at new ways we can super serve our Pack Air customers. Matt, what do you got for us this week?
We're educating customers about how to improve their comfort and lower their energy bills by investing in better attic insulation. The Department of Energy reports that homeowners can be more comfortable and reduce heating and cooling costs by up to 50% just by improving their attic insulation. That's why Pacific Air's team created the WOW Comfort Attic Package. Our WOW Comfort Attic Package is a 4-step attic solution to help solve the problem of poor attic insulation.
Great. I love the way we're always educating and improving our WOW service that we give our customers. Remember, team, here at Pacific Air, our goal is to always give service so good, they're going to say, okay, Kaylee.
Wow! For the guys in the orange truck, that's Pacific Air. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
For questions about our WOW Comfort Attic Package in your attic, contact us today at pacair.com. PACAIRE.com. Remember, without the E, it's just air.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm joined this morning by Dr. Josh Wentz from Mission Opera. Josh, thanks again for coming in. You were talking before the break about how, you guys are putting on and performing these amazing shows and bringing opera to the North San Fernando and Santa Clarita Valleys. But you've got a mission, if you will, to educate kids and introduce them to theater and opera early on. And you've recently partnered with Supervisor Catherine Barger on an initiative that seeks to do just that. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yes. We're really excited. This was a program that we put together before the pandemic that was getting ready to be launched. And we did a trial run, and we're kind of revitalizing it and trying to tweak it as it went. It's called Box Top Opera.
All right.
And with Box Top Opera, it's a trunk of opera props and masks and wigs and things, fun things, that we take into the school with 3 singers, a tenor, a baritone, and a soprano, and a pianist with their digital piano, and an audio person and the portable PA. Okay. And we can pop up anywhere. We could do it in a cafeteria, in a gymnasium, in a big classroom, or on a theater somewhere. And essentially, it's a 45-minute program that's developed for K-12, and we tweak it a little bit based on different, if it's an elementary school or secondary school. And it is a 45-minute program of the Bugs Bunny greatest hits. What is opera? So we were speaking of Bugs Bunny earlier, and it's made because there's so many of these great opera pieces, arias and overtures and things like that people know, and they recognize the melody, and you've heard them a million times on TV, commercials, the mall, wherever. But people don't know anything about it, what it is, what it's called, who wrote it. So it's a very fast-paced, children have very kind of short attention span.
Yeah.
And it seems like, as the more I'm reading lately of things going on in the schools after the COVID, that, it's even harder to kind of keep children engaged. And this is a great way to use music and use sort of storytelling and theater and fun energy to tell about what opera came from. All they get is a very short introduction of what is opera, and then we show them. It's not a lecture. We're not going to sit there and say, oh,
Sure, you do a 45-minute lecture on the history of Italian opera. I'm sure the second graders love it.
I'll have a lot of sleeping children. It's nap time, kids. Come on down to the assembly. So, but it's so fun. It's 3 singers, and we get kids very interactive and engaged in it. We ask them if they know how to sing, if they sing in choir, and then we do, of course, the Figaro, and they teach, and the baritone teaches them how to do that. And then when it gets to that time in the aria, he makes it, oh, what's that? I can't hear you. Sing louder.
Okay.
They all go crazy. And then, of course, we do Carmen and have the bullfighter and a person that's the bull, and the students can cheer for either the bull or the bullfighter.
All right.
So it's just a really great program that introduces kids to not only classical music and opera, but theater and storytelling. It's great for all ages. And we're really looking for people like yourself, right? People that are involved in schools, either as teachers, educators, principals, counselors, administrators, school board members, folks that are involved in social services, homeschool network, or external, like Boys and Girls Clubs, scouting, different things like that would like to feature a program like this. We do a run out. Like I said, we can schedule it wherever. I've got 3 groups of people. So that if you say the soprano's not available on a Monday morning and we get scheduled for a Monday morning, I can swap out singers. So we're going to be ready to go on February 1st for this. But our big presentation is coming up right around the corner in, 9 days? Oh, Lord have mercy. On November 1st, 1:00 p.m., Supervisor Barger will be there presenting us at the College of the Canyons University Center atrium.
All right.
So that's a Monday afternoon. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers are in school, but we're really targeting a lot of other folks that are involved, even parents and PTAs and things like that might have an interest group to get us out in the schools to come and see firsthand what the show is.
Okay.
So Supervisor Barger will present us and give some talking points and talk a little bit about where music ed is here and what we do. Then I'll present a little bit about Mission Opera and how we were founded and what our principles are. And what our national educational standards are reaching with this program. And then we do the 40 or 45-minute show with more than 3 singers this time because I've got more singers involved, just so it's a little more, big opening,
Sure. It's the biggie size opera.
Yes. And if you're interested in seeing that show, look on Eventbrite, type in Mission Opera. You're going to see our upcoming Don Giovanni that's at Canyon High School on November 19th and 20th. I'll talk about more later if we have some time. But you'll also find that Box Top Opera program on Eventbrite. It's a free. It's not. We just ask for RSVPs because we will have some refreshments and some different things provided for folks that register and come. And space is limited. And I should say that College of the Canyons does have a bit of a strict COVID policy, so they do require a vaccination for folks that are going to come and see that, or a negative 72-hour negative COVID test.
All right.
And they have a check-in table that the college operates out front of that university center. So come register, come check it out. If it's something you think you're interested in Monday afternoon, or you know somebody that could get us booked in some of the schools, such as I lead school personnel.
Well, I know I know that High Lead School's arts coordinator is listening now, and so I'm hoping that that she's looking it up and checking her calendar, and hopefully she or someone else close to her can get there and get this program rolling out in our schools. I know it'd be really exciting. Like you said, kids that get that exposure are much more likely to be involved in theater and opera if they've had the exposure when they're younger, and it makes sense, right? You know, they hear this music that they've been hearing their whole lives, their young lives. They're probably going to hear it again sometime in the future, and they'll be able to say to the adults or other people around them, hey, I know something about that piece. Did you know?
Yes.
And that sparks that interest, sparks that pride, and
Exactly.
keeps it moving forward. You know, you mentioned about getting through the pandemic and how that was a struggle, gosh, especially for the live arts, right? But you guys did something kind of interesting during the pandemic. Can you share a little bit about how you guys adapted? The last time you were in, you were talking about your show Les 66. How you like my French?
Very good.
That was the 66,
I'm
right?
impressed.
So can you talk a little bit about how you guys adapted to make sure that people could still consume opera during the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we also had some education. We went into the Zoom classrooms with a lot of band, orchestra, choir, and theater teachers, particularly in the William S. Hart School District, and did small group lessons of like careers in music and what it is to play in a studio or play for a Disney film or whatever. And it was a lot of fun to provide that kind of music education. But we didn't let our performances die. It took us a while to figure it out because apparently you can teach an old dog new tricks. But we did end up figuring out how to do sort of like Hollywood video editing style shows.
Okay.
We did a really cool double production of Giancarlo Monati's The Telephone and The Medium. And we got some wonderful grants from the Department of Cultural Affairs and the city of Santa Clarita that we're extremely thankful for. And that helped us fund this kind of like multi-tiered, layered onion of a show that we released digitally. And it's done really well. The YouTube analytics on it, I haven't checked it lately, but it's reached to Saudi Arabia and all kinds of other places, international viewing. But it's cool because it's in multiple languages. We subtitled it in several languages. So if you're a Spanish or Portuguese or Italian speaker, you can choose that language and read along. And then we were the first, as far as I know, the first performing arts organization in Santa Clarita to do a live show after the pandemic. We did at the very beginning of June. We did an outdoor opera, Le 66, as Matt loves to say.
There we go.
Although it should probably be called, what is it, Drei Sechzehn Sechzig or something, I don't know. Because it was set in Germany.
Right, yeah.
It's like these little German traveling guys.
But is this poor guy that lost a lottery ticket or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was tricky because you had to build a stage outdoors and battle the elements and battle the sun setting and try to keep it lit and in middle of summer try to keep people from not getting heat stroke.
Sure. And you know, you guys in theater, you always want to make sure the lighting's just right. And
right.
How do you get the sun to cooperate, the clouds to cooperate, and the sound is going to be essential. And so can we just shut down the wind for a couple hours? We're busy here.
It was essentially going back to antiquity, and it was the Greek, we were back in the Greek amphitheater.
I love it. So you mentioned it before. You've got some stuff coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about the season coming up?
Yeah,
what shows
so we've got a ton of stuff. Our season opener was right next door at the Main in September. Was Telefono and the Old Maid and the Thief. It was a great show. We exposed a lot of new people to opera in that one. Our second show of the season is a Don Giovanni Mozart. So this is our one big like opera that's not in English, but it is a completely new adaptation. So the Don Giovanni is a Hollywood producer, Me Too movement kind of guy. Who's accosted many women. The story's based on the Don Juan, the womanizer of times past. But I thought, you know what? It's been done so many times in nobility and in that era. I said, let's do something more modern. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. So this is a Hollywood producer that has made his casting couch famous. We've got the big red casting couch on stage with his producer office and his desk and his little mini bar in there. And he's always swooning women and doing, sort of shady things. And the whole show, if you know Don Giovanni is a story about, at the beginning he's essentially accosting a woman, and she runs out, and the father comes to defend her, and they have a sword fight, and the father gets killed. And at the end of the opera, the father comes back. There's a big statue because he's a commanding officer of the military. So they erect a statue, and the statue comes to life and drags Don Giovanni to hell. A reil grim story, right? You know, opera's either really funny or this one's actually supposed to be a funny drama. I'm like, well, not a whole lot of funny stuff about this, but you know, so we've completely adapted it. I've put it in 2010 in a Hollywood production studio soundscape with half of the stage being his office, and he's battling mental illness. And I think it's really important that we take opera that's old, that's 200 years old, and find ways to relate to today's issues.
I love it.
And one of them is not only the Me Too movement, but allowing people to, feel comfortable to speak out if they've been, sexually assaulted. But another thing is that we have so much mental illness going on, and Giovanni is really struggling with what is reality and what is, and you call it schizophrenia or anything else, but he's really battling with illusions and disillusionment. And as he falls apart, he can't tell if these characters that he's dreaming of are real or not.
Okay.
So the beginning, when he has a sword fight with the guy, we've kept the sword fight in because it's cool to fight with swords on stage, right? So we have this moment where they're fighting with swords, and you can tell it's a very dreamlike world. And then his production assistant, his PA, shakes him awake on the couch and says, "Wake up, sir, you're dreaming." And the rest of the opera, these three characters, Donna Tavio, Donna Anna, and the Commendatore, are not existent. They're not real in the real time and space. So it's a very kind of and for people that know the show, they're going to love it. People that know Don Giovanni are going to love it. People that have never heard of it or never seen it are going to love it because it's this time. It's now.
Different perspectives. That is fantastic. You guys are doing such amazing things. If folks are listening in the community and want to get involved, is that a possibility? Can folks get involved with the Mission Opera?
Yes, we love that. We would encourage that. We take folks from all ages, levels, abilities, interests, from children to adults to families to seniors. We can use volunteers. We've actually got some of our upcoming things set up on SantaClaritaVolunteers.com.
Okay.
Check that out. Go over to MissionOpera.com and peruse our website. We're constantly upgrading and adding new things to our website. You're going to see information about our upcoming productions. You're going to see information about our previous productions, including full videos and photos and things like that, so you can kind of see the quality and the caliber level that we're bringing to Santa Clarita. You can see things about our educational outreach. You can register for our November 1st event there. And you could, if you find it in your heart and the pandemic didn't hit you, you can make a tax-deductible donation to help us keep the arts alive.
Very important to support the arts right here in our local community. Dr. Josh Wentz from Mission Opera. We love talking to you. Appreciate your time. You're doing great things, like I said, for the community. And, man, you keep busier than most 3 people I know. So, thanks so much for coming into the studio. We really appreciate it, Josh.
Thanks, Matt. What a pleasure.
You take care. You are listening to SCVI and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
The City of Santa Clarita invites you to the grand opening of the new Canyon Country Community Center on Saturday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon on the corner of Soledad Canyon Road and Sierra Highway. Explore the new community center, watch live entertainment, learn about program opportunities, and have fun at this free event. For more information, visit santa-clarita.com. That's santa-clarita.com. We'll see you on Saturday, October 30th.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
Go to MyPillow.com to receive 40% off the My Slippers when you use the promo code KHTS. or call 1-800-973-3927 and make sure to use the promo code KHTS.
Once heart attack symptoms begin, delaying treatment increases the risk of heart damage, disability, and even death. Time is critical. Leading the Valley with the most advanced digital technology and treatment times that beat national best practice goals, Providence offers emergency coronary angioplasty and stenting performed by highly trained board-certified cardiologists. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING. The road to healing leads to Providence.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/The Main New Hall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Circo Hermanos Caballero.
Caballero Circus is coming to town October 22nd through November 1st. An amazing spectacle of delight featuring the biggest act of trapeze, the quadruple somersault, incredible acrobats, contortionists, and side-splittingly funny clowns, and the most talented dancers. Fiesta Fiesta by Caballero Circus. That only comes once a year. 11 days only. Artists from Venezuela, Mexico, Africa, Russia. Countless superhuman performances for memories to last a lifetime. Everyone, children and adults alike, will delight in the performance that features spectacular show artists from around the world, plus much more. Caballero Circus in Valencia, October 22nd through November 1st, with plenty of hot dogs, cotton candy, nachos, refreshing beverages, and more. Buy tickets at the box office or circocaballero.com. Caballero Circus at the Westfield Valencia Town Center. Children 10 and under get a $10 discount with a paid adult ticket. One show daily at 7:30, 2 shows on Saturday, and 3 on Sunday. For more info, call 844-372-9276. Caballero Circus.
De Guadalajara, Circo Caballero.
Santa Clarita now has its first comprehensive outpatient rehab facility. RenewMed's multidisciplinary team includes physicians, respiratory, physical, and occupational therapists, as well as social service professionals to provide superior therapy and customized treatment. Whether you've got COPD, COVID complications, or are keen on preventing a fall, they can assess your challenges and help you feel better. RenewMed on Lyons Avenue, just north of the 5. Visit renewmedscv.com. That's renewmedscv.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We just spoke with Dr. Josh Wentz from Mission Opera, talking about all the different artistic expression and endeavors that are going on here in the Valley. It's great to see. Some sports going on down south of us. The Dodgers are fighting for their playoff lives, Patty. We thought they
really are.
We thought they were out, man. They were down 2-1, and everybody was depressed, and they were down 2-0.
And then Cody came in and just revitalized everybody.
And we thought, there it is. Here comes the turnaround, right? We're gonna take this, but then they went out and lost the next game.
Yeah, they got crushed. Yeah, right.
It's crazy. They've been so schizophrenic, They
yeah.
What was it?
Exactly.
Tuesday they were on fire and just lighting it up, and Wednesday the bats go cold again. But lo and behold, with their backs up against the wall, they lose last night. The season's over, right?
Yeah, no, right, yeah.
But they got. I think they tied the Dodger postseason record for most hits last night.
It was like 17 hits, I believe.
Yeah, they just absolutely came alive. So if you're not, religiously following Dodgers baseball right now, but you're aware that they're doing something, you know that those people that you see this weekend are going to be talking about it. So let me catch you up. Dodgers' backs are kind of against the wall. They are playing in a 7-game series.
Yep.
So as soon as they lose 4, they're done. Well, or as soon as they win 4, they move on to the World Series. Yeah, Patty giggles. This is engineer pessimistic Patty. He's not thinking too.
I'm trying to keep my hopes down so they don't let me down.
So here's where we're at. Today's a travel day, and in order to go to the World Series, the Dodgers have to go to Atlanta on Saturday and Sunday. They have to win both games.
Yep.
They lose either one of those games, and the season's over. But, they've done this before, Patty.
In fact, they did it to the same team in the same exact, I believe the same exact format of the games. Like, Braves went 2, Dodgers won, Braves won, Dodgers won the next 3.
So just last year, 2020, Dodgers were down 3-1 against the Braves, came back, won 3 in a row to go on and as we know, eventually win the World Series. And so why are you so pessimistic? What's making you think that history's not going to repeat itself? They've done it before. We've got the script. What do you think?
They're so hot and cold right now. I mean, the bats when they're alive, they're amazing, phenomenal, in fact. But when they are not, it's just they can barely squeak out a hit, and their pitching has been really good. Like starting pitching can go from really good to put in the reliever.
Okay, but here's the thing. Tomorrow, Saturday, the Dodgers starting pitcher is going to be Max Scherzer.
Yeah, Mad Max.
One of the best pitchers in baseball. He's been hot lately. His last outing, he didn't pitch so great. He got roughed up a little bit.
Yep.
But he's an emotional guy. This happened in the previous series against the Giants. They beat him up a little bit. He went back to Dave Roberts, the coach, and said, "Give me the ball in Game 4. Give me the ball."
Yeah.
So I think he's going to come out fired up. I like our chances tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, that's true. In Game 7, anything can happen in a Game 7. That's the rule in not just baseball, but basketball and every sport. If there's Game 7, anything goes.
So I don't know. I'm gonna stay optimistic. I'm thinking that we're looking good. But so yeah, if you're not a baseball fan this weekend, you may just want to drop that in. What do you think about Mad Max? What are his chances? Right, Mad Max, he's pitching for us tomorrow night. Dodgers are they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. We've got to do this. You stick around. When we come back, we've got Ingrid Moon and Kevin Becker from SCVI going to share what they're doing to prepare our kids for the careers of the future. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Make your winter count at College of the Canyons. Pick up a 5-week class to explore new interests, transfer to a 4-year university earlier, or launch your career. Affordable online classes are offered at your convenience. Winter session begins January 3rd and registration is going on now. Seats are open in Asian art history, introduction to business, film aesthetics, intercultural communication, and more. For a full list of open classes at College of the Canyons, visit canyons.edu/schedule.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Consumers Furniture Gallery is closing its doors after serving Santa Clarita families for 43 years. It's their going out of business sale. Everything in the store must go. Consumers Furniture Gallery has been beloved by our valley for 3 generations. Consumers will complete all existing and new orders even after the sale is over. They must sell all remaining products during their massive going out of business sell-off. Take advantage of this opportunity. Consumers Furniture on Golden Triangle Road in Soledad. consumersfurniture.com.
It's time to enhance your natural beauty and well-being at Hestia Medical Spa. Feel as good as you look with services that include body sculpting using the most up-to-date technology, including high-intensity focused ultrasound. Choose from a long menu of services like IV therapy, which is a great energy booster, combats dehydration, boosts your immune system, and conquers hangovers. Experience rejuvenation at Hestia Medical Spa, located on Valencia Boulevard next to City Hall. Call 753-3434 or go online at hestiamedicalspa.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national
booster shot rules. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The CDC chief saying moments ago that the definition of fully vaccinated may need to be updated in the future as she lays out the details for newly approved boosters in the latest briefing from the White House COVID task force. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has this live.
Lisa, people over 65, those with underlying conditions or whose work puts them at greater risk, should get a booster shot 6 months or more after their first regimen. Centers for Disease Control Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says you can mix and match vaccine brands.
Some have an expressed preference for one booster type over another. FDA's authorizations and CDC's recommendations now allow for this type of mix and match.
Dr. Walensky urging people to continue taking precautions, saying we can't boost our way out of this pandemic. Lisa?
Thanks, Rachel. Walensky says 64 million Americans haven't had a first COVID shot. Britain also showing a dip in new COVID cases back under 50,000 in the daily count after jumping more than 17% in the past week. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says at this point another winter lockdown is not in the cards, despite recent advice from a scientific panel that earlier intervention could reduce the need for tougher measures later. Actor Alec Baldwin says he's heartbroken, speaking out for the first time moments ago since accidentally killing a woman in a prop gun accident yesterday on the set of his new movie, Rust.
42-year-old Helena Hutchins, the director of photography on the movie, was killed. Director Joel Souza, who's 48, was injured. The sheriff's statement said, quote, "This investigation remains open and active."
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Baldwin tweeting a short time ago he's fully cooperating with police. 2 trade publications are reporting a Hollywood union told members the prop gun had a single live round in it. America's listening to Fox News.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Saturday, October 23rd, is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Remove expired or unused prescription stimulant medications from the home quickly to help reduce the chance that others may accidentally take or intentionally misuse the medicine. According to the FDA, the best way to dispose of unused medications is through drug take-back programs or registered collection sites. For more information or to locate the Take-Back Day location closest to you, go to DEATakeback.com. This message is paid for by Adlon Therapeutics.
After a breakfast meeting at the White House, more optimism from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi about reaching agreement among Democrats on the president's larger spending plan. Pelosi telling reporters there are a couple of outstanding issues that just need a decision. Mattel says it's navigating supply chain snags.
The company's stepped up production, secured more freight containers, and accessed more ports to keep up supplies. Mattel is now predicting a strong holiday season, and it's raising its expectations for the year. It's seeing higher sales of action figures, games, dolls, and other toys. Hot Wheels and Barbies are in demand.
Fox's Ginny Cosola. Instead of just relocating a Confederate statue recently taken down in Charlottesville, Virginia, one group hopes to transform it.
A proposal to melt the statue of General Robert E. Lee. That was the flashpoint of a violent white nationalist rally in 2017 in the city. The Jefferson School African American Heritage Center submits the idea to the Charlottesville City Council and city manager. It would be turned into a new work of art after receiving input from descendants of enslaved persons, according to the center statement, then given to Charlottesville for public display. The city solicited full proposals last month that would change the statues of Lee and General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. CJ Papa, Fox News.
The world's most indebted property firm buys itself more time. China Evergrande Group facing a deadline tomorrow to pay interest on a U.S. dollar bond, reportedly sent over $80 million to a Citibank trustee. A source telling Reuters that appears to have averted default, though another deadline is looming in a week with payments due on a string of other bonds. Still, it's a relief to world markets concerned about fallout from a debt crisis in China. Evergrande also announcing it plans to make its electric vehicles business more of a priority. Right now, the Dow is down 15 points after hitting a new high this morning. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are trading mixed. The Dow rose to a record in early trading, but the Nasdaq has been losing ground. Snap Inc., parent company of Snapchat, says changes to Apple's iPhone privacy rules cut into its advertising business. American Express reported an upbeat quarter, in part because more of its cardholders are dining out. China Evergrande, the deeply in-debt property developer, made an overdue interest payment to international bondholders. Mattel says it has successfully navigated supply chain snags. It's been growing sales and is continuing to gain market share. The company has stepped up production, secured more freight containers, and accessed more ports to keep up supplies. Mattel is now predicting a strong holiday season. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
SCVI is a tuition-free TK through 12 charter school that gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely. We offer a customized learning program built around your child's unique interests and strengths, with the only international baccalaureate program in all of Santa Clarita. Our approach keeps students and families in step no matter where your learning is taking place. Be empowered to make your mark on the world at SCVI. To take a tour or enroll now in our one-of-a-kind program, visit ileadsantaclarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Hey, this is Kyle with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny today with highs in the 70s. Overnight low is going to be in the 50s, but overall a nice day here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you're listening to SCVI and iLead Schools' Eye on the Valley. We are coming to you live from the KHTS studios here at the center of Main Street in beautiful downtown Newhall. And my next guests, they teach, among other things, CTE pathways at SCVI. CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. And for you old schoolers, no, this is not just a synonym for shop classes. But let's let my guest talk to you all about it. Ingrid Moon is an iLead science facilitator and at SCVI's upper school. She became a teacher after working for over 25 years in the interactive and technology industries, creating products for companies like Disney, PlayStation, Acura, HealthNet, and more. She's an unapologetic nerd, Star Wars and Marvel enthusiast. Yeah, Engineer Patty just perked up. She is a wildlife rehabilitator, and yeah, she's got squirrels running all around through her house. And Kevin Becker hails from the Midwest, the great state of Ohio. We won't talk about Baker Mayfield and the Browns, but he has since relocated to beautiful Southern California and morphed into his alter ego, Kevy Westside. He is an instrumental part of the upper school team. Upper school is how we refer to our 9th through 12th grade, or high school at SCVI. There, Kevin facilitates English, film, and theater. Ingrid, Kevin, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you.
So glad you're both able to join us. We appreciate it. I know this time is a little bit inconvenient for a high school teacher. You guys have got classes going on, but I know even in this substitute teacher shortage, you guys are able to lean on your colleagues and have them help you out. So we appreciate you joining us. So why don't you guys start by telling us a little bit about your pathway? Ingrid, I mentioned yours a little bit, so let's start with you. So after such a successful career in kind of the tech industry, what made you want to go into teaching? And then how did you find us at SCVI and iLead?
Wow, that's such a long story. I don't know how to keep it short. I was working at Disney primarily for like 7 years, getting my master's in instructional systems technology. We were building some of the most unique educational facilities in the entire world, probably. And we're building them in China, where they wanted kids to learn English. So that was kind of where I was at, sort of combining technology and education together. And that, at some point, Disney's always like, hey, we don't need you anymore in this role. And I decided to pursue the education side more than the technology side for a while. So I did some instructional design and stuff. And meanwhile, my child joined a new school, and it was a project-based learning school and whatever. And so I had time. I volunteered to work there and somehow got roped into teaching 5th grade. And I was like, I don't even have a credential. And they're like, that's okay, we'll get you one. Cool. So now I have 4 credentials and, obviously love teaching. It's the best job I've ever had. So I don't think I'll change careers anytime soon. And I forgot the rest of the question. So.
Well, you seem to be happy doing what you're doing. You're certainly really, really good at it, and I know the kids love you. So we're hoping you don't change careers either. Now, Kevin, I understand you came west looking at a different industry. What were you looking to get into when you came out this way, and how did you find your way into education and SCVI?
Well, I went to college for theater. I studied acting and directing, and I moved out west looking to do sketch and improv comedy. I studied at the Upright Citizens Brigade in Hollywood and went through their program, as well as being a part of various different web shows, short films, things like that. And I was never 100% happy with the industry. I love performing, but I was at Comic-Con one year, and I heard Mark Hamill say, if this ever feels like a job, then you should stop doing it.
Oh, wow.
And I realized that I had been teaching theater since I had graduated high school. Mm-hmm. During middle school and high school, I attended an after-school program at the Beck Center for the Arts in Lakewood, Ohio. And then when I graduated high school, they said, hey, do you want to come and teach with us? And I ended up being the assistant to the director of education, of theater education. And so I was there until I moved out to California, and then my day job was always teaching of some kind. And so I saw
a listing for substitute teaching. And I came in, and my first day I was doing IEPs, so I was bouncing from classroom to classroom to classroom, no idea what the school was yet. And by the end of the day, they were like, hey, let's get you on the path to get a credential because we'd like you to stay. And it was right at that same time I was like, well, I don't want to continue working in this industry full time. I still do projects here and there, but teaching theater, teaching film has always been the thing that made me the most happy, and I am never happier than when I'm working on a show with my kids or working on stuff in the classroom.
I love that, and so much of teaching is theater anyways, trying to get your kids engaged and doing simulations even when you're not teaching theater. So perfect match. And again, the Southern California theater's loss is our gain. So glad that both of you guys are with us. Now, I want to pose this question to both of you, and whoever would like to speak first, just go ahead and jump in. SCVI is a little bit different. We're actually quite unique. Can you share a little bit with our listeners that have never been on campus at our school? What makes our upper school at SCVI so unique? What is it that you guys appreciate and you see that your learners enjoy that makes SCVI unique?
I'll jump in here. Actually, I'll tell a story from yesterday. So one of the things that I love about what we do is when I think about my high school experience, it was memorize this, put it on the paper, get it right on the test, you're good. One of the things I love about project-based learning and what we're able to do is that we can find new ways to make sure that the kids are knowing what they need to know and are learning and are growing. And, for example, in my IB language and literature class, my 11th grade English, we're currently looking at Greek mythology and how we learn about ourselves and learn about stories. And we were doing the 12 labors of Hercules yesterday. And we kind of divided it up, and we figured out, okay, you have number 1 and 2, you have number 3 and 4. And these two young learners, and then they pulled in their friend, who they're English class isn't necessarily their favorite. They're very polite. I love them both very much. But they were like, can we make a rap video? And I was like, I mean, you have half an hour. Can you make one in half an hour? And they were like, we'll be right back. And so
hold my root beer.
Yeah, they recorded the audio. They auto-tuned it. They made a little video and edited it all about Hercules and the golden apples, and then Hercules and Cerberus, and they sent it to me, and I projected it for the kids, and I've never seen, and they said, can we do this more? And I said, we'll make checklists, but when we don't have to write, let's do that. And they were like, oh, I'm so stoked, I can't wait now.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the cool things, because I know for me in school, I didn't learn well by just sitting and memorizing. I learned by doing things with the information. And I love that we're embracing that kind of learning and being able to say, okay, let's figure out what you need to know, but how do you want to show me how you know that?
It speaks right to our... Go ahead, Ingrid.
Definitely going to jump in on that, because that is definitely one of my favorite things is you have some learner who may not be engaged in many ways. They may have life issues going on. They may have various things, and you can connect with them and help them find the way that they're going to learn the best and that they're going to express their learning the best. It doesn't have to be a test. And in fact, learning to take, granted, when you get to college, that's kind of all you're going to do. But it's nice to know that they're actually learning things in a way that works for them and that they can express it in a way that feels authentic and creative for themselves. And I love that very much. And one of the other things I love about our school is that it's very open. We literally have an open campus, and it's open, not open like everybody can just go anywhere they want anytime, but there is a strong sense of trust and responsibility and love. And these kids, you walk on a campus, and they are all so joyous to be there, and they love being at school. They love being with each other. They love having the freedom and responsibility that goes with it. They're very inclusive. I love having classes where kids are inclusive of learners with special needs or of each other, various backgrounds. It's a really safe and wonderful culture. And I think that there's no police state sense at our school at all.
Right. It's interesting. The two things that you both shared speak right to our our vision, free to think, inspired to lead. We truly do kind of take the, gosh, I hate to say shackles, but we do take the reins off of our kids and let them really run and be owners of their own education. And Ingrid, you know, when we first developed our high school, our upper school, we were very intentional about having that openness. And it was funny. People often ask me, you know, you've got this kind of open campus, and you've got a Jack-in-the-Box right across, like in the same parking lot. Don't kids ever wander off? And the answer is, honestly, well, yeah. And we work with them on that. We want to teach them now while they're with us to better manage themselves, to make good choices. Because when they go to college, you're right, there's not going to be a campus supervisor there forcing them back into class. And so for them to learn that now when they're younger prepares them for that freedom that they're going to have in just a couple of years. Now, we're talking about SCVI, but the reason we had you guys on this morning is to talk specifically about the CTE courses. So tell me, for those of us maybe my age that aren't necessarily familiar with CTE, what is career and technical education? What are CTE pathways?
The simple way to say it is it's kind of like having a vocational program in the sense that you're learning real-world skills, you know, that you can take with you. You can take it to college, learn more, and then get a career, or you can just, in some cases, go straight to a career. And you're learning these skills integrated with your regular learning, your biology and your math and whatnot. And it really gives kids something to really focus on. They don't have to pursue the career that they take their pathway in if they don't want to, but it gives them a lot more real-life context for what they're learning, that there's a real why to what they're learning.
So some of our listeners might be thinking, I don't know. In 2021, sure, that might be viable, but they can get that in college. We really want to prepare our kids for college. So why is it valuable to be preparing kids for these vocations, for these careers in 2021? Why is this a valuable thing for us to be offering our kids in high school?
Well, I think. Go ahead, Ingrid.
Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead. You go first.
Okay. I think that it's an important thing to realize that not every kid is going to go to college. Mm-hmm. College is wonderful. I loved my time in undergrad. I loved my time in grad school. But, like, that's me. And I know that there are going to be some kids who are not necessarily going to take that path. And one of the things that I really value in education, especially with us, but that it's growing more, is this understanding that there are other options. You know, my pathway is the arts, media, and entertainment, and the ability to choose when you graduate high school to go onto a film set. I mean, we live, half an hour away from Hollywood. Some of us closer.
Right.
And you can show up at a film set with your CTE certificate and maybe work for a year before you go back to college, or do an internship while you're at college, or choose not to go and start your career right away if that's the right path for you. And I think that's something that I always have to remind myself, and I think we as educators remind ourselves as well, is that while college may be what we all did, it might not be the right fit for everyone.
And if it is, this CTE certificate kind of gives you a leg up if you choose to go into that field in college, or like you said, it gives you a pretty good background if you're planning on going straight into the working field. Kevin, you mentioned that you teach the arts, media, and entertainment pathway, and I know that involves a lot of theater and things like that. Ingrid, what other pathways are available to the learners at SCVI? What other CTE offerings do you guys have?
Well, currently, we have 2 engineering pathways, games and VR production, which a lot of kids are really into, like, you know, video games, right? So let's learn how to make them. Let's learn what the realities of that production process are, because a lot of these kids are like, I'm going to go become a game tester for the rest of my life. And I got news for you. Being a game tester is probably the worst job in the industry, but it's a good starting point. Okay. And also theme park design. So what I'm really trying to do with these two programs is combine making interactive experiences using technology and engineering technology skills. So it's really more about the technology and not so much the software or, just learning how to do IT work.
Interesting. And I hear a lot of parents say, oh, yeah, all teenagers want to be game designers. They want to be gamers for a career, but that's not a really viable career. No. VR runs across pretty much every career path out there, and it's all about software development and simulations and things. Well, gosh, preaching to the choir, it's what you did for 25 years, right?
Yeah, I didn't do VR specifically, but toward the end maybe. And my husband is a global VR and game producer, so that's very helpful because I always know what's going on in the world. But VR is definitely the future. And I really love this idea that these kids are taking something that they already love and they're going to build skills that can enable them to do these really amazing jobs in the future. But VR is much more technology oriented than it is software oriented. Games, You can sit on a computer and play a game. Software, easy, right? VR, there's so much more that goes into it, and that's what I really wanted to build the skills in. And I don't think there are any specific VR college pathways or college directions yet. There are a lot of very similar areas like theme park design, theme park production, places to go work or Imagineering at Disney, etc.
Yeah.
But the technology is really where the focus is, and that's why our program is actually in the engineering sector, not the information communication technology sector.
Interesting. So. Ingrid, you hit on something that goes to the core of kind of why we exist as a school organization, and then specifically why we're going so deep into these CTE offerings, that kids can identify the things that they're passionate about, identify the things that they love to do, and do those as a career. Probably my most memorable teacher when I was in high school told us one day, if you want to truly be happy in life, find something that you love and do that. And if you can get somebody to pay you to do it, then you're truly blessed. And I think that's so important. So many people go into careers that pay well or are stable or that give me this benefit. But if you find yourself absolutely miserable, then it's just going to be like, the old adages, right? The salt mines, going to the salt mines every day. But if you can find something to do that you're truly passionate about and follow that path, then that is just the source of all kinds of happiness. Ingrid Moore.
We have kids real quick. We have kids who are really into very specific types of technology. I have a kid who in my Maker Design Studio course, all he wants to do is be a welder. And you know what? If you can go be a welder in a context of something fun, like maybe you love cars, that's what you want to do, or maybe you love roller coasters and you're going to go work in that area. You can take something you love and make it a really amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely. Ingrid Moon and Kevin Becker joined me this morning. We're talking about CTE, Career and Technical Education Programs at SCVI Charter School. When we get back, we'll talk with them about what it looks like when the rubber hits the road, what it actually looks like in the classroom. We're going to break for a quick commercial, and we will be back after this. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
No doubt about it, LA is an awesome place to live. But even while living in the land of beaches and mountains, it's safe to say that we could all use a real vacation right about now. One where you don't have to stop for gas, cook your own meals, or strip your own sheets. Lucky for us, Princess Cruises has a port right here in LA. Now, for a limited time, LA residents can sail with Princess from just $89 per day to the beaches of Mexico, the tropics of Hawaii, or cruise along the California coast without getting stuck in traffic. That's right, just $89 per day. And while these great destinations aren't going anywhere, these deals won't be around forever. So visit princess.com, call 1-800-PRINCESS, or contact your travel advisor to book your cruise today. Set sail with LA's cruise line, Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Promotional pricing ends November 30th, 2021. Ships are Bermudan and British registry. Before booking, consult the CDC website at www.cdc.gov.
There are times when nothing else will do because you know exactly what you want. You want the Alamo, the taste of true Mexican cooking at its best. At Alamo, you're treated to a taste that is truly Mexican with an atmosphere to match. Enjoy a Cadillac margarita, try a mucho burrito, or sizzling fajitas. Voted the best Mexican food in the SCV and a favorite of former supervisor Mike Antonovich. Alamo Rotisserie in Granary Square, serving Santa Clarita for over 30 years.
This one is back. Circus Vargas, Circus Vargas, Circus Vargas. The biggest big top, he's back in town.
Circus Vargas is proud to present their latest smash hit circus extravaganza, Mr. V's Big Top Dream. Join us in Palmdale at the AV Mall, October 15th through November 1st for a brand new Big Top adventure, guaranteed to thrill and enchant children of all ages. 2 hours of family entertainment at its finest. Acrobats, daredevils, clowns, trapeze, and more. Only at Circus Vargas, where memories are made and cherished for a lifetime. Buy tickets now at circusvargas.com.
Circus Vargas.
In today's world, we need to take extra care of our bodies. We need strong immune systems, and B-Soleil can help. B-Soleil is a vegetable supplement packed with minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory ingredients, like bromelain, which helps protect the body from viruses and harmful bacteria by boosting your immune system. All-natural B-Soleil can also improve your overall health with vitamin C, D, and zinc. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and allergen-free. Try it today. Go to bsoleil.net. That's BSOLEIL.net and start taking care of yourself today.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
And welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and I'm joined this morning by Ingrid Moon and Kevin Becker. They are facilitators at SCVI's upper school, and you know, it's funny. People will ask me sometimes, yeah, Matt, I know you guys out there at the charter school. You call them facilitators because they don't have their teaching credential. What you guys heard earlier, Ingrid's got enough teaching credentials to pass around the room. That is not true. All of our staff are highly credentialed and qualified to teach in a California public school. The reason we call them facilitators is because they approach their work a little bit different. You heard about that a couple minutes ago. Instead of being the keepers of the education that replicate that in their learners, they kind of turn the keys to the educational vehicle over to their learners and allow them to drive the ship. No, not just let them do whatever they want, but they let them learn the rigorous curriculum that they teach in the ways that have meaning for them. We heard about kids that were learning about Shakespeare and by developing rap and things like that. It's that's what we're talking about when we call Ingrid and Kevin facilitators. But they also teach CTE, Career and Technical Education, at SCVI, and so that's what we're talking about this morning. So, Kevin, Ingrid, let's, I mentioned before we took a break that we'd talk about what it looks like when the rubber hits the road. So can you tell me what it looks like in the classroom? What does the coursework look like? What are the kids doing on a day-to-day basis? Like, Ingrid, you mentioned that you teach engineering, games, and virtual reality. So are kids just sitting in your class playing video games all day?
Yeah, actually they are. Just kidding. We did do analysis of arcade games this week because I wanted them to really look at the idea of inputs, outputs, how the layout of the screen is, how does the user know what to do, or their instructions. Kids are very, especially if they're all gamers today, they're just like, well, you should use the arrows, right? And I put them on a website with like 80s arcade games that doesn't use their conventional tools. And these were games, if you played them in the arcade, had like knob controllers and buttons and things, and we don't have that on the keyboard. So the kids have to rethink, how do I know what to do to play this game? And of course, my favorite part is they had to actually follow directions on this website. And then so they wrote up an analysis of at least 2 games, and then starting on next Tuesday, we're going to start designing our own arcade games. And the purpose of this is we're going to start introduction to coding, introduction to user interface, and things like this that'll help them recognize or to see sort of the meta aspects of the gaming that they take for granted. Let's put it that way. And then in my computer science class, they're learning to code apps, phone apps, and things like that. So it depends. Every week it's a little bit different, and there's a lot of variety because there's a lot to learn in 4 years.
But again, something in a field where it's highly engaging. This is something that the kids are truly passionate about. What about you, Kevin? What are the kids doing in your pathway?
Well, I've got a couple of different subsets in my pathway. So my film class, we have been working on, everything has to be up to the industry standards. So we just finished our first film. They had to do a short film, no dialogue, which they struggled with at first because that's kind of what they're used to, is like, how do I talk out what's happening? And I was like, don't, you show. And we went through, we learned the various types of shots that they can use, the various focuses. I mean, at this point, most smartphones have a camera that is usable, that is, film quality. Yeah. And so they filmed that. They had to make a shot list that was based on what most shot lists would look like in the industry if they were various jobs in that field. Now we're diving a little bit into film history, so we made a huge timeline yesterday. In the performing arts side of things, we are just kind of making and performing things. We're doing some monologue work right now in Performing Arts 1, getting them some audition materials, teaching them how to use Uta Hagen and Stanislavski to build realistic and believable characters. I know we've also got our production standpoint, and they're designing the set for our first show, so they're in there hanging lights, they're building set pieces, they're painting. We will get into costume design as soon as we get a little bit closer. But it's a lot of hands-on, actual working in ways that they would need to know if they're going to move on to continue to do this after high school, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, but it bears repeating. These programs differ from what at least what I grew up with. The vocational ed was typically designed for kids who were planning on going straight into career after high school. Yes, these are built to prepare kids for careers, but they're not exclusively for kids who have selected themselves out of college. They're preparing kids for high-level college experiences or to go straight into career. So I love that. Now, Kevin, you mentioned Uta Hagen. I want to make sure I'm correct. That was that German punk singer from the 80s, right?
Okay, well, she did a few different things. She was a Renaissance lady, so...
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Nina Hagen. Okay.
Yeah, but Uta might have done some punk singing. I don't know.
Very cool. So now I want to juxtapose a little bit. You guys are teaching these career and technical ed courses, but a lot of the families come to SCVI because they're attracted by the IB program, the International Baccalaureate program, which is kind of a really high-level course of study across the subject areas: English, math, science, history, and yes, the arts and things like that. Is this something that learners have to choose between? Either they're going into an IB course of study and taking those rigorous and very much college prep courses, or they can go into CTE, or are learners able to take both?
Learners can self-select into anything they want. So if they want to take IB courses, they can, and if they want to take CTE courses, they can. And if there is a way to do both, if they're doing the IB, the diploma program where they are taking there's 7 classes, and they have to take them all for 2 years, 11th grade and 12th grade, and as well as some extra work outside of that for community service and various things. Those things take up a lot of their time, and it may be a challenge for them to do CTE at the same time. However, those kids tend to also be your high-achieving kids who want to do more than just their academics anyway, and it would not surprise me to see some. In fact, I have one she's an 11th grader. She's full IB, and she is also taking a class, one of the CTE classes right now, and directing a TED Talk with the other learners.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it's very possible to do both. A lot of kids come take these rigorous IB courses, but they'll take 3 or 4 of them instead of like the full program.
Okay.
And they'll pick the ones that they like. So, I love biology, I'm going to take IB biology. Or, I love, theater, I'm going to take IB theater. So that way they get 4 years of theater class. Plus, they can still do CTE.
And the nice thing is, especially in the arts, they kind of line up. So, like with my IB theater kids, a lot of the IB curriculum is about creating theater. It's about making shows. Well, part of the CTE is doing a capstone at the end of your time, and what they want kids to do is to make theater. So we are able to adjust a little bit of the IB curriculum and the CTE curriculum and kind of fold those in together, and that was kind of a lucky thing. I say lucky, but I know that it was also a very conscious choice. It wasn't just like, this is cool. But we are able to kind of fold those in together, and our IB kids who might be in IB art and having to create some kind of displays might be also designing a set. Our IB theater kids might be creating a play that they can use for their capstone. So there is crossover that is really kind of lovely for those kids who do know what they want to focus on and can really do a deep dive.
Fantastic. I love the flexibility that you guys are allowed, that your learners are allowed, and one of those things, Ingrid, you mentioned, kids self-select into these classes, including the IB classes. So you guys don't test your learners in, or as the facilitators, the teachers in the first 2 years in high school make that determination, no, you can't go into IB classes because you're not performing well enough. If a learner's willing to take that big bite and take on that rigorous course of study, they're allowed to choose their own path, right?
And it's actually a cool thing that we've done in the past 2 years is now we are doing IB for all in 2 subjects.
Oh, wow.
English, which is language and literature, and then history. All 11th and 12th graders, they take the IB level because they're capable of doing the work. They don't have to do the IB test if they don't want to. That's what they get to self-select, but it's kind of fun to watch kids come into my first year IB Lang and Lit and be like, I can't do this. And now we're in October and they're like, oh, I can do this. And I'm like, I knew you could. You just have to be given the opportunity to fly.
I love that. Now, Kevin, I know you work with another colleague in the theater, and kids are preparing to put on a show here pretty soon. You guys are in rehearsals for a new play. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we go?
Sure. This play was actually chosen by the learners. My teaching partner, Cordy, is directing this, and she said, I want to do something Greek. I want to let the kids kind of get experience, because a lot of high schools, they'll do they do the big shows that the kids get to know and love, but we love to stretch our kids. Mm-hmm. We still do our musical. I'm directing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown next semester. Okay. But we asked the kids, look at Greek and what do you want to do? And they came together and they said, we want to do the Trojan Women. Not one of the big ones, not Medea, not Oedipus. And then we gathered a few versions of the script, and the kids picked what they liked most. And the cool thing about Greek is that it's public domain, so
right.
they're experimenting and building it themselves. So it's called The Butterfly at the Bottom of the Box, which comes from the myth of Pandora's box, where the butterfly at the end is the hope. because not Pandora, but Trojan Women is not the most uplifting of plays. And they said, we like this idea, but we want it to be hopeful. And so they've got the script, they've designed their characters, they're working on creating something really interesting. And that's going to be on December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and tickets will be available soon. If you want to know more about our shows, you can always check us out on social media on Facebook and Instagram, SCVI Theater Arts, Theater RE. And you can keep up with ticket sales and auditions and all kinds of fun stuff.
Love that. Fantastic. And I love that the kids built hope into that. Kevin and Ingrid are two shining exemplars of the great things happening at SCVI. I want to thank you both for joining me today. If you're curious about moving your student to SCVI, we actually do have openings in a few grades. You can check us out at ileadsantaclarita.org or call us at 661-705-4820. That's ileadsantaclarita.org or 661-705-4820. You stay tuned. Big T is coming up. He's got lots of laughs and trivia, so stand by. This is SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley with Matt Watson. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
Youth workshops return to the Canyon Theater Guild. Join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting September 7th, for 10 weeks of teamwork and fun while creating theater magic. Our day class from 12:30 to 3:30 will create the fun, pixelated world of video games with Press Start, while our after-school class from 4 to 6 embarks on a swashbuckling adventure with space pirates. Class size is limited, so register today at 661-799-2702 or visit canyontheater.org.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themainnewhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
Summer is here. Try the new Charlie Ice Cold drink, named after social media megastar dancer Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie's go-to coffee order is a Dunkin' cold brew with whole milk and 3 pumps of caramel swirl. It's officially on Dunkin's menu nationwide as the Charlie. You'll love it. Dunkin' also has new all-day sandwiches and new donut varieties. Order ahead with the Dunkin' app and accumulate points. Located on Bouquet Canyon in the Lowe's Shopping Center and on Sierra Highway in Canyon Country, both with curbside pickup, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates. Or use the drive-thru at Sierra Highway. Santa Clarita runs on Dunkin'. It's time to enhance your natural beauty at Hestia Medical Spa. Select from a large menu of services, including an assortment of fillers that can be used in the face, lips, hands, and a variety of other body parts. Get rid of that double chin with Kybella, an injectable treatment to permanently destroy fat cells under the chin. Hestia Medical Spa also offers Botox, Dysport, and Xeomin to help reduce severe frown lines. Experience rejuvenation at Hestia Medical Spa, located on Valencia Boulevard next to City Hall. Call 753-3434 or go online to hestiamedicalspa.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And joining me on the phone is my often co-host and our lovely producer, Sarah. How are you doing this morning, Sarah?
Doing great, Matt. What a wonderful show you've had this morning.
It has been a great show. Thanks so much. Gosh, our guests are just fantastic. Got phenomenal information and great conversation, and they're real pros on the radio. They give a good interview. We've also got somebody else joining us on the phone. I know you know that, Sarah. It is now time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. You all know Big T. Come on. He's a longtime resident and leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. He is an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and community leader. And he's a guy who loves nature in spite of what it did to him. Here he is. He's Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Morning, Maddie. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So for those of our new listeners, we're gonna play trivia. Big T's got some trivia questions for us. Engineer Pessimistic Patty is gonna be joining us. We've got producer Sarah on the line.
Pessimistic.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit our buzzers to buzz in when we know the answer. Our buzzers are our names, and so we'll buzz in. But if you're playing along at home and you wanna join us, if you know the answer, you get to skip the line. You don't need to hit your buzzer. Just shout out the answer. Don't worry, we'll hear you. And even if we don't call out your name, we'll give you the points for it. So, yeah, go ahead and play along with us. So we got Patty, Frogger, and Sarah playing this morning. What have you got for us, Big T?
Well, I'm down in San Diego this morning, Matt, so I'm on the road today. So
Oh, nice.
it's nice down here. Weather's nice. Hey, you know where Old Town is?
Old Town San Diego? Love Old Town. Where is it?
Yeah, it's right over there.
Oh, cool. All right.
So I'm going to kick stuff off with a fun fact, of course, like always. So,
All right.
Matt, as it turns out, cows actually sound like where they're from, kind of just like accents. Cows from different parts of the country moo in a slightly different way, but they sound like the rest of their herd.
Get out.
Which kind of explains why when you hung your head out the window and you mooed at them as we went by on every vacation, they never responded because you weren't using the right accent.
I was mooing in Southern California while we were cruising through Wisconsin.
Right. So,
Bad on
and
me.
it just goes to show you, you can take the cow out of Jersey, but anyways. So we ready for some trivia?
Yeah, we're ready, T.
So a little topical. What famous actor recently went into a rocket ship to the edge of space?
Frogger.
Bringing his acting career. Frogger.
That would be William Shatner, Captain James T. Kirk, if you please.
Denny Crane.
Denny Crane.
What is the common name for dried plums?
Sarah?
Sarah.
Prunes.
Correct. Maddie, you're going to have to start eating those soon.
Love me some
Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita?
Patty.
Patty.
Switzerland.
Frogger.
That is correct.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Check you out. They also wear the most watches and carry the most pocket knives.
Hey-o.
Right. What is Indian food that's cooked over charcoal in a clay oven called?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Tandoori.
Tandoori's correct.
Score.
What was the first soft drink to be drank in space?
Sarah? Oh.
And then Frogger.
Sarah?
I think I've got this wrong, though. My brain went to Tang, but that's not a soft drink.
No, so you still got another guess if you want.
I'm going to guess Pepsi.
Incorrect. Frogger?
I got to go Coke.
Patty.
Coca-Cola is correct.
Patty was going RC Cola.
Right. Slice?
Slice. Don't you want a Fanta?
What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world?
Manufactured drink.
Manufactured drink.
So, Frogger?
Sarah?
So, like, not water, obviously. So, Frogger, then Sarah?
I'm going to go tea.
Tea's correct.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ooh.
I do like
You know I got to come with a tea trivia question.
I do like tea, though.
What's the only edible food that never goes bad?
Sarah?
Sarah?
Oh, and then Frogger.
Honey.
Honey's right. You guys are on fire this morning.
Nice. I got some of that in my bomb shelter.
Right? What country invented ice cream?
Oh, Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger.
Vermont.
What? That's a state.
Good job, Patty. Glad to see you're learning. Incorrect. Anybody else?
Patty.
Oh.
Patty.
France?
Incorrect.
Oh, okay. So Sarah's going to guess. I'm going to guess Japan.
Close. China.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty. Frogger, hand on your buzzer. Right. Hendrix, Larios, and Seagram's are some of the best-selling brands of what spirit?
Sarah?
Sarah?
Gin?
Gin is correct.
Interesting.
Oh, spirit. I was like, what does spirit mean?
Patty's looking around the studio here. We got ghosts up, and he's like, boo.
Exactly.
Alrighty. True or false? Glass is manufactured mainly from processed sand.
Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger.
That's true.
That is true.
Oh.
Another true or false, actress Marilyn Monroe had 3 children resulting from her 3 marriages.
Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger.
That's false.
What part is false, Frogger?
I don't think she had any children.
I think she had 3 marriages, no children.
Yeah.
All right, from which country does Gouda cheese originate?
Sarah.
Patty.
Sarah, then Frogger, then Patty.
I'm going to say Austria.
Incorrect.
Oh, good guess. I'm going Italy.
Incorrect.
Oh, it's a Gouda cheese.
I was going to say Greece.
No, hint, it's from where Kinley Jansen is from.
I don't remember where Kenley's from.
He's from the Caribbean. He's from...
No, he's from the Netherlands.
Oh, he's from the Netherlands?
Huh.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
know that.
Oh, okay.
He was a catcher on the Dutch...
well, I know he's Dutch, but I thought he was from the Dutch
Classic.
West Indies. Okay.
Maybe right. Hey, so the Papa Sports Trivia question of the week. Chris Taylor last night had 4 hits, 3 home runs, and 6 RBI. It's only the 12th time that someone's had 3 home runs in a postseason game. Who was the last Dodger to have 3 home runs in a postseason game?
Frogger. Manny Ramirez.
Incorrect. He's still playing. Not for the Dodgers, though.
Oh, I got to guess. Patty,
4 years ago.
Somebody get it, because I want to know.
It's a live
I
show.
don't know. I never said my name.
Frogger, go ahead.
I don't know.
Is it Kike Hernandez?
It is Kike Hernandez.
I mean, I was thinking that, but...
Well, then say it. It's a live radio
No,
show, Patty. Come on.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was him. I wasn't sure.
Little fun fact, there's only been 2 players, though, that have had 4 hits, 3 homers, and at least 6 RBI with that stat line.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Tio Albert that did it in the 2011 World Series.
Oh, Uncle Albert. Love him.
Yep. On a farm, what is a kid?
Frogger.
That's
a goat.
It's a baby goat, yep. In Little Red Riding Hood, who does the wolf dress up as?
Patty.
Sarah.
Patty.
Grandma.
I knew I couldn't slip that one past you, Patty. Who's the patron saint of Ireland?
Frogger.
Sarah.
Frogger. Then Sarah.
I think it's St. Andrew, isn't it?
Incorrect.
Oh, man.
Patty. Or after Sarah.
I think Sarah's next.
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick is correct.
That's
Get those
me.
snakes out of here.
That's me.
It's St. Patrick, Engineer Patty.
That's why I was saying Patty.
How many colors are there in a rainbow?
Frogger. 7.
7 is correct.
I had to count my
True or
Roy G.
false,
Bibbs.
True or false, the liver is the largest organ in the human body.
Frogger.
Patty.
It is in
Frogger than
mine.
Patty.
So I'm going true.
Matt? Incorrect.
Nuts.
Patty, false.
Patty. False.
Yay.
Somebody clearly gave direction that we can no longer answer before the end of the question on true falses.
Yeah, that was Phil. He's sitting out in the lobby shaking his finger at us.
Yeah, I know.
But what is the largest organ?
It's the skin, I think.
Skin.
Ooh.
Oh.
What was the only #1 hit for Culture Club?
Frogger. Karma Chameleon.
That is correct.
Yeah, you come and go.
What is the first name of Professor Dumbledore
Patty.
in Harry Potter?
Sarah.
Patty.
Albus.
Albus is correct.
Hey, Big T, we got time for one more.
All righty. What company purchased Kinko's in 2004?
Frogger.
Sarah.
Frogger than Sarah.
Was it FedEx?
FedEx is correct.
Woohoo! Alrighty, Big T, we got to wrap it up. Patty and Sarah finished with 4, and I ended up with, well, I got 11 today. I'm pretty on my stuff today. All right, we do have to wrap it up. Big T, thanks for popping by. I'd like to thank our guests, Josh Wentz from Mission Opera, Ingrid Moon and Kevin Becker from SCVI's CTE program, Big T, producer Sarah, engineer Pessimistic Patty, and thank you for listening. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.